What's up? It's your boy Tay Speaks.
Hey y'all, it's A from the A, Arkansas to be specific. Don't get it twisted.
And it's your boy D Norville.
And we back with another episode of Juice 901 JUICE, the illest podcast in the building, the world,
oh, the
whole entire universe. But sometimes you need to curse, but we don't need to be cursing because they already know what it is and what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
JUICE 901 Media.
901 Media.
DAND.
You
the Dad Pod.
DAND.
The Dad Pod.
DAND. DAND. DAND.
I love how nobody caught that.
You already know what's going on, man. But like we like to start every time we start Juice 901 podcast, we like to ask one question and one question only. Say it with me.
Technically 3.
Say it with me. How you really feeling? I said, what? How you really feeling? That's what we want to know. And starting to my left, pro-black Anissa, how you really feeling?
I am feeling... Dang, how am I feeling? I just went blank. That's awkward. I'm feeling okay. I mean... Not bad, not good. I'm just chilling. Therapy was this morning, so I was very calming. And after therapy sessions, I'm in a very mellow state for the most part. Outside of that, things have been great. I know I've been talking about some modeling things. Well, I don't know if y'all know it was modeling things. But I had some modeling things come up. I just did a shoot with a store I've been trying to work with for the longest. Oh, so excited for those pictures to come out. Just got another opportunity in Nashville, so I'm very excited about that. And y'all will be seeing those things. You got the...
I just want to do the loop. Not going.
We need to have a sound for that. Click, 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 click. It's gonna be like crickets, right?
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I'm really excited about that. Yeah, things have just been going good. I've just been trying to give myself the credit I deserve because I don't do that all the time. That was something we talked about in therapy this morning. Is I don't realize not even just this modeling and work stuff, but in general, I don't realize how much I've grown and how much I've actually done and accomplished until somebody else says it. It's like that. I can't remember the full quote, but it's you keep raising the bar whenever you reach something. You keep raising the bar. That's what I do. So it's I don't realize I'm that girl until somebody really sits there and tells me, damn, you're doing it. So yeah.
It's your birthday, girl. Yeah, let's get it, man. Shout out to Anissa, man. Let's go. Ding, 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 ding. That's who you dress like, The Rock.
Oh my God.
Have you seen that picture of The Rock? That's who it is. From the turtleneck to the blue jeans. The Rock.
I was going for I'm
gonna post a picture. All you missing is a chain. And you will be identical.
Listen.
And maybe being bald.
No, The Rock wasn't bald when he had that outfit on.
See? He had a low top, I think.
You can see what outfit I'm talking about.
No, I was, I've been seeing a lot of Carolyn Bessette Kennedy on my For You page and that off-duty model look from the 90s. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cute. So when I was picking out my outfit, I was like, I'm going to throw that together. Looks good.
But
that was my thought process.
You embodied two. You embodied two people. So shout out to you. We smell what you cooking. Dane, how are you feeling?
Oh, wait.
Man, I'm good. This is going to be easy today. I mean, it was a long week. It was a stressful week. And I'm hoping that this weekend resets me. That's it. I will say, I finally did something big in my career. I've taken a step forward in my development. I can't tell you exactly, what it is. But I finally... I'm being given new tasks and new assignments and new responsibilities. So I do feel like I'm growing and I'm expanding, which is exciting.
That's good.
Honestly, good.
I just want to do that.
Shout out to one time for the birthday.
Dane, I threw it to you, but you didn't catch it.
Pause.
Not like that. Y'all chill out. Are you ready?
That's funny.
That's the 5th time. It's still not going anywhere. Let me try to go this way.
Are you gonna get past to me?
I tried to pass it to you 5 times.
Well, I didn't see you try again. Oh.
Come on, Tay.
You stays away with it. Tay, how you really feel?
Can you mother how this mother Okay, I'm doing great, guys. I'm doing great, guys.
Jesus, this man.
And yeah, I'm doing great. Back in the gym. I am losing weight, but I am dying. And this is why we say, who needs enemies when you have friends, bro? See, but I can't talk because I said she looked like The Rock. But except mine is accurate.
I'm not going to
argue. It's just offensive. There's a difference.
I only laugh because he laughed.
It's never going to save you in an argument.
Well, it is today.
Well, I want to get into these topics. Is that cool with y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, for sure, man. You know what I want to talk about today? I want to ask y'all 2 questions. Okay. I want to ask y'all 2 questions, if y'all don't mind.
I do mind.
Well, you're gonna get asked anyway. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, what's something that older black generations got right that we messed up?
Oh.
Ladies first.
Oh, me going first? I know everybody has mixed feelings on this, but I'm just speaking like from my perspective and my family. With the older generations, the community that having a big family has. Because like both sides of my family are huge. Like I can't even count how many people and cousins I have. But like one thing that I feel like they always got right was having like that connection, that community with family. And like that was like my favorite thing growing up, like going back home to Arkansas to like visit people or just going to different places in Arkansas when we lived there. It's just like everybody always came together. There was like a sense of closeness. And it's like, I feel like, at least in my experience, that's what I feel like they got right. It's just how they went about it. And like now, I'm close to a lot of my family, but it's not like how it was before. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I do the best I can to try to carry that on. But it's just me. Everybody has their differing opinions because, you know, you don't mess with a lot of family members and all of that. But yeah, to each their own.
Because I do feel like a lot of families can resonate with that because, at least in our community, most families at one point in time had a matriarch or a patriarch, somebody that everybody clung to.
Yeah.
And you don't really realize like the value that person brings to the family until they're no longer there. And then when they're gone, you know, that's when the petty bickering and arguing between people who are supposed to be blood, you know, starts to happen, and people separate and families go off. And, you know, and I get like on one end, it's like, okay, the older you get, you go off and you start to make and develop your own family, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, you have kids, you get married, whatever, you know, go off, you get a job, maybe move, whatever. But you should still all, at some point in time, make room for everyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
You should be able to get back and feel that connection. And I think that's something that the older generation did really, really well, that it's just starting to fall apart. So that was a good point.
Yeah.
Agreed. Dane, what's yours? Or was you?
I think mine is going to be the value of like in-person connection. Like in-person community. No, just in-person social interaction. That in general, I think, is something, well, one, it's twofold. One, because they didn't have all the technology that we have today. But two, even as that stuff started to develop, you know, the phone, you know, telephone, the landline, whatever, you know, even, you know, TVs, and just as things started pulling people away from going out and communicating with other people and pulling them more towards looking at a screen in whatever capacity, I think the older generation did a really good job of saying, okay, break away, we're going to limit this, and we still need to be around each other and engaging and present in the moment. Because one thing about like social interactions, looking at a screen, I get it, we're doing it now, right? But like, it really does take away, I think, from the value of a moment, because there's something about being able to touch a person, you know, or being in a person's presence. You can feel it, you know what I mean? It's just, there's a feeling that you get when you're around other people. And that connection, I think, makes all the difference when it comes down to anything from a I love you to a disagreement or whatever. So, I don't know. I think the more we get into being an advanced society, the further and further we get from it's going to sound cheesy, but being human, and I think there's value in that social interaction, in-person social interaction.
For sure. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
Did you have something else, or are you done? Or were you done?
That was it.
Mine ties into to both of y'all's, actually.
Oh, nice.
One thing that I say that the older generation got right that we messed up is family reunions, bro. We do family reunions. I don't understand, because I feel like somebody's watching this. Like, my family do it. Majority of a lot of Black people don't. And it goes back to what Dane said about the older person who everybody looked up to great grandma or grandma, but grandma been gone for a long time. Or grandma was pretty much past the age where where we were supposed to pick it up already. And a lot of us depended on her, even though we've gotten older. We hit our 30s, we hit our 40s, and we still look to that older person to put things together, to bring the family together. And that's why when grandma or granddad passes away, we don't know how to talk to each other because we never learned. We don't know how to get each other together because we never had each other's numbers like that. Mm-hmm. It was one person who came. We came together for each other, but through this one person. And when that one person left, we no longer knew how to communicate with each other anymore. And I think that it's going to take some doing the work, because grandma did the work also. Grandma raised everybody. Grandma developed certain relationships with everybody in the family or whatnot. And I think it's us going back to knowing how to have a relationship with somebody, is understanding that you will not always get along. That's one. And being able to talk through things. That's two. And also accepting that it's not going to be perfect every time, every day throughout the relationship. I think that's what makes a relationship are the hard times. Those are the tests that lets you know if it's worth it or not. And another thing that I was going to say is, I had a second one. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, privacy. Back in the day, people didn't, what happened in the house stayed in the house. Now, I do agree that some things need to be exposed.
Right.
But nowadays, a lot of people are running to the internet on their sisters and brothers and dads over things that shouldn't be on the internet. And that people on the internet cannot help your family with. What are you telling us for?
Trying to make a profit off of it at this point, because that's like a lot of people were like, if I tell my business, or if I would have told a story about that, I would have made a lot of money off of TikTok story times and stuff like that, just for the attention. I don't know, or like the external validation.
I agree. I think some people do that. I think some people's goal is like, oh, I'm just trying to be controversial because I know if people watch that, it'll bring me money.
Yeah.
I think other people just don't know any better. Like, they grew up in an era, again, where that's what they saw people do, Right. And part of it is a maturity thing, I think. And the other part is just a lack of knowing how to communicate. And like you said, Tay, I mean, that when you have one person in your family that everybody uses as a filter, and then they're gone, and you've never developed a connection with these other people, or know how they communicate, what the communication style is, or how to resolve issues with people, then you run to things like that, and yeah, I think privacy is something that we need to get back to. That's a really good one.
Yeah. I think, like, even going back to the family reunion and all that, I think you can find anything wrong with, depending on how your family, was brought up, and how the family and how the reunions went when y'all got together and all that, you can find something wrong with, anything that we've all said. But overall, we still celebrate it in some kind of way. Even when we go to the festivals that's going on around Memphis or whatever city you're in, we look for that community of, it's good times. I love being Black. We all sitting here talking, drinking, having fun, playing spades. I think those are all reunion type things that go on when the community gets together, and whether it's the neighborhood barbecues and all that, that stuff feels good, because it lets us know that at the end of the day, we all we got.
Amen.
Power to the people. Rock. But I got one more question.
Caught that.
I got one more question for y'all.
See, I sat there for a second. I'm like, this motherfucker.
I got one more question for y'all. All right, my second question is, what are the top 5 things that society tells us hold up. Top 5 things that society told us that we believed growing up.
I can give you 2 right off the bat. One is that you have to. I'm trying to think how to word this. It could be like a loaded answer. One is that college is for that you have to go to college and get this degree to blah 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 be successful. It's not for everybody. There's other ways to be successful without a degree. Although getting a degree is great. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with taking a different route, whether that be trade school or a route that doesn't require you to have like extra schooling outside of, you know, the high school degree. And then a second one is that once you get to a certain age, certain life milestones are not achievable anymore. And that one is something that like really stings with me. Because I feel like, especially as a woman, you know, once you hit this age, like nobody's going to want to marry you. Once you hit this age, like the biological clock or whatever it's called, it's dwindling down. You're not going to be able to have kids. You're not going to be able to do all these things. And if you don't reach these milestones by a certain time, you're not deemed worthy anymore. And that's something that really grinds my gears. I can go on and on about it, but those are the 2 that just instantly popped into my head.
Well, then what I say may make you mad.
Go ahead.
If you work hard, you can accomplish anything. I don't really agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that in life, sometimes there are just things that are going to happen that'll keep you from accomplishing goals. But it's about how you pivot and how you maybe alter your original path to get to as adjacent to where you wanted to be as possible. I mean, you grew up and you're like, you can do anything. Let's be serious, right? Like, you know, you're 4'4", you know, 80 pounds, you're not going to be in the NBA. You know, like it's just, there's just certain things in life based off of genetics, based off of whatever, that is going to keep you from being able to accomplish everything. That shouldn't deter you from trying to be great at things that you enjoy doing, right? But just, you have to, it makes you be more realistic, you know, about expectations.
That reminds me of a conversation that we had a while ago. I can't remember if we were like interviewing somebody or if it was just a conversation between the 3 of us where we were talking about like, what do you do whenever you realize like this might not be for you? Like, is it a test from God or is it like, it's actually not for you? Because I mean, yeah, anything is possible within reason. I should have added that to what I was saying because I agree with you. I'm not upset with your opinion because it makes sense to me. So.
Also, another thing is they used to tell me that I was going to have to know how to write in cursive. I had to know how to write in cursive. I had to be able to write letters and essays and da-da-da-da-da. Now, granted, a lot of older people do read and write, you know, really well in cursive.
Right.
And I've run into it in my career. I've run into it where I've had to look at people's cursive handwritings. I'm glad that I know how to read in cursive. But is that really a skill that, you know...
For a signature?
But everybody's signature looks like...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like chicken scratch. What is it? And then another one that kind of ticks me off to this day. You know, you give gum to kids. You know, you're like, oh, okay, when they start chewing gum. What used to terrify me is when they say... you'll swallow gum and it'll stay in your stomach for like 7 years or whatever
my gosh.
the thing was. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You swallow gum and it'll stay in your system forever. That's another thing. I'm like, y'all are lying to me. I can't tell you how many pieces of gum you swallow. No, it's okay. You shouldn't swallow gum. I think it's on the packaging not to swallow it, but still.
I agree with all those things that y'all said. I think even with yours in this, I think that partially true, partially like, okay, I see why you feel that way. The question of you're not worthy, I don't agree with that. The biological clock, that's a kind of a fact.
Yeah,
But it just like can it still happen 100%? Because
is it more dangerous? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so though it's like yours, like I get 100% as to why you would feel that way. But the question of are you worthy or are you worthy to be loved or be married and all that, absolutely, like you can absolutely still have those things.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I think that's based off of like societal expectations and norms.
Right.
And that's one thing I will say that I think the new generation is doing better of is breaking those kind of expectations because everybody is on their own timeline.
Right. And I love that though, because I mean, obviously, like a lot of my friends, y'all are married. A lot of my friends have kids and like all of these things. And I also get that from my mommy and from like other family members. They're like, oh, when's this going to happen? Oh, you got to hurry up. It's like,
you gotta learn how to shut that down.
Oh, trust me, I do.
I'm talking about like permanently.
Yeah.
Like even with parents, because they will say, and they know they don't say it to hurt your feelings, but you will, how do I put this? You will get to an age where you know how to talk to your parents in a way where you let them know I'm grown. 1, 2, I need you to not ask me that ever again.
Yeah.
And 3, it's like, but I'm still going to come at you respectful. But if you proceed to go in this direction that I told you not to go, then I can't kick it with you no more on that level.
I've definitely done that. And I feel like with therapy, it's helped me like find my voice and be able to set boundaries and not feel bad about it. Because I've had that conversation with my parents and stuff. And I know like sometimes like, it's not even just with my parents, it's like with other people as well. Like older people in my life where they will make these comments or say these things. And I'm like, look, I'm going to say it nice once. The second time, I'm going to...
Well, the next time they say when you go have a baby, ask them when the next time they gonna start losing weight. When the next time you gonna lose? When you gonna leave that man?
Oh man!
Listen, there was one. I'm not gonna say the exact situation, but I remember there was people used to pick on me for my weight. Like I'm already small, but when I was a kid, I was small, and like my mom taught me some comebacks. I can't say it on the camera, but listen,
it be like this sometimes.
Shut up instantly. But yeah, I've definitely gotten to a point where I'm like, all right, look, let's sit him down.
You surely is skinny. You surely is big. I thought we were just making observations. My bad. I'm learning to not fire back because it's been getting me in trouble lately. So I'm just saying, you know. But one of mine is the myth that if you have the light on while driving, it's illegal.
Oh my gosh,
they said that was illegal until I grew up. Now, I still don't like the light on when I'm driving. It's kind of distraction. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what they were trying to say. But it's not illegal.
Right.
My next one is everything will make sense when you're older.
No.
And I think what they was probably saying was everything will make sense. That everything won't make sense when you're older.
What?
Everything will make sense. That everything won't make sense. And that's okay.
Okay.
It's like to bring religion into it. Can you prove right now that God is real?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, you can look around, you're breathing, you're up, you're about, look at the...
But you can say that, but then if I go, well, scientifically, it's like you can't go, bro, no, I have the final answers. Can you see this right here? You can go all day.
It's not like a tangible thing. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. So it's like, but also even the things that happen in our lives, we don't always understand them. We just understand that things happen sometimes for our better good. Mm-hmm. I think we accept that part more than we accept. Like, do y'all honestly know how Wi-Fi works?
No.
Exactly. But you understand that it works. You just understand that. Do you understand how I can call you if you were all the way in New York in like 1 second? Nobody really understands that unless you actually break that stuff down. But we just understand it. This is a phone who they used to have to be put on the wall and we couldn't leave the house and still have a phone call. Now we can go anywhere in the world with this device. It just, everything doesn't make sense. And it's okay that it doesn't make sense. Also, my last two are cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis. I don't know if y'all ever heard that one about stop popping your knuckles so much.
Is that a myth?
That is a myth.
Really?
It might cause your joints to swell a little bit, but it's not true.
Is there like studies and stuff to prove that it's not true?
Well, they said one guy cracked his on one hand for like 50 some years or more, something like that. And his joints in both hands were exactly the same afterwards. It wasn't really this hand, since I popped it only on this hand for this amount of time. Yeah. Then this happened. It's just.
I mean, the amount of times I go to the chiropractor, that's like saying I'm going to get arthritis and arthritis.
Take your time. Take your time, Pastor.
Like saying I'm going to get arthritis in my back or like have back problems. Even though I don't know.
My specialty,
Well, my last one is, huh?
Oh no, sorry, I'm just going down a tangent about crack bones.
I can do it.
Yeah, arthritis immediately. Oh God.
I can crack my toes too, but I got boots on.
Anissa arthritis is your new nickname.
A for the A.
Jesus. My last one is you can't get a corporate job if you have locks or braids.
I mean, you did it.
There we go. Shout out, Rock. Exactly. My point is, the reason I didn't like when people say that is because, I mean, I get why they would say it. It kind of goes into the same system of your older generation telling you have to go to college. I think the reason why they told you that is for safety reasons. Mm-hmm. And growing up the way they grew up, we didn't have many options to be successful. So they tried to give you the best way possible. It's like, go be a doctor. Brother, I ain't never told you I wanted to work on. I never told you I like biology. I never told you I like anything. So it's like, you at the end of the day, you want your kid to be safe. So although you want them to chase their dreams, you want them to be safe because you want them to be okay, especially when it's your time to go as a parent, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I think like even with the, like I just said, the what I just say, the locks and the braids and all that, I think that you try to give them the real, like this is how they view us. But at the same time, I just had to prove a point, bro. I wasn't cutting my hair until I did it. Like I just had to prove a point. And because my feeling was, if you're going to tell me I can't be here because my locks, y'all know I kept my locks done for the most part, bro. So mine wasn't really matted up or nothing like that. Fire. So appreciate that. But it's just like when it came to that, like if you're going to tell me I can't work here because of that. So I got this college degree, I got this, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to tell me I can't do this because of my hair, I don't need to be there anyway.
True.
And it's cool.
I do have another one.
What's poppin'?
That I just thought of. And I'm going to preface this by saying this is not what I think. This is not my opinion. This is just a conversation I had with somebody. And looking back on it, it was a very closed-minded conversation. Something that I was told is that you can't be successful if you go to a HBCU. And going to a PWI is more realistic for your goals. And like I remember like whenever I
think he burped.
Oh, excuse you.
Oh. My bad.
And I just think that's like the craziest thing. Because okay, where I grew up, like obviously y'all know, predominantly white spaces. I did not know a lot about HBCUs. I didn't know they existed until like a certain point in time. Like I didn't know that. I just didn't know that there were certain HBCUs in a lot of these places that I've been and I've gone to because that was just not my reality. I wasn't exposed to HBCU culture, but it was just crazy to me for somebody to think that and for somebody to tell me that. It's just like, oh, like, dang, so I can't be successful going here. I can't be successful going to a place that's for us, by us, you know? Because you look at Kamala Harris, you look at Chadwick Boseman, the list goes on and on of all these people that have gone to HBCUs and have like incredible careers and are doing very great for themselves. I think it's very close-minded to say that. Like, oh, you can only be successful, you can only get to this place if you go to a PWI. HBCUs, like, it's just, I feel like it pushes that culture of like PWI versus HBCUs and that.
So were they saying it because, the program in particular that you were looking for?
It was just a generalization. Because
just how you're gonna look on paper.
Just like it wouldn't be taken as seriously if you went to PWI, which I call bullshit on that. I think that's honestly ridiculous. I
think a lot of that is rooted in resources, and it's also rooted in, be quite frank, like racism, right? And as these institutions just didn't show up for any reason. Like if you look at the history behind it, you know, there are programs to help, you know, Black people get ahead because we didn't have a program. We didn't have, you know, trades and institutions that were willing to pour into us when slavery was ending, right? You know,
right.
Put people in these positions for hundreds of years, generations and generations, and then randomly they're let loose, you know, with no guidance. So we've had to kind of work together to create spaces where we can learn. And I think two things. It's rooted in an environment in a society that was already like, no, we didn't want to let you free, and now you're trying to do things to make yourself better, right? And then
Right.
two, you've got a lack of resources being poured into those institutions. And naturally, when an institution, and we see it all the time in public schools, in private schools, like when one institution doesn't have as many resources getting put into it, it will not be able to sustain, generally, it will not be able to sustain or put out the same work product or the same, I don't know, like level of institutional knowledge. I don't know. It's just not going to be able to provide the same academic experience. That's what I want to say for those students as maybe an institution with more resources and funding will. But the narrative that going to an HBCU, or even if it is underfunded, or even if it is like not, in an area that's like well known, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that narrative sucks and it's stupid and it's it's fundamentally rooted in, I think, racism.
I agree. And like, honestly, if I was in high school and I was exposed to more HBCU culture and what HBCUs could offer me, I definitely would have went to one. But that's just not my circumstance and not my situation. Had I known then what I know now, not even just with like sports, because there are a lot of really talented cheer teams at HBCUs. They just don't get the recognition they deserve. There's a lot of really great programs, a lot of great resources, like connections, all of those things at HBCUs that honestly I wouldn't have gotten at Memphis. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, but I definitely would have went to an HBCU if I knew then what I know now. But yeah,
For sure. And that concludes Random Thoughts with Speaks. Ha!
yeah.
You already know what's going on. Yeah, Jack. And we want to get into this next topic of conversation with the THE Norvell.
Yeah. What's up, family? Guys, we're going to do things a little different today, but we are going to play our What Would You Do? And matter of fact, if you all know, we've been playing the Arbiters game, season 1 of the What Would You Do series, the Arbiters game. We're actually finalizing that today. So we're going to wrap up season 1 today. So we're going to get there. But before we do that, can you all hear me? Good deal. Before you do that, I'm going to ask 2 questions that I just want us to think about. And it kind of plays into 2 things, right? It plays into what's going on right now in the world. And I'm just curious of your thoughts. They're just, questions, but also it will play into the ending of our season 1, the Arbiters game. Okay, so question 1, and we may have talked about this somewhat before, but if we have, just refresh me on what you think. So somebody has the power to do something, right? And that something is to stop harm or to protect someone else, you name it. I don't know whether it means money, weapon, whatever. I don't know. You have the power to do it, to help someone else, knowing that helping them will not impact you, okay? Knowing that it will not impact you in a negative way. Do you then have a duty to act and to protect that person? Or are your responsibilities limited to your own self-interest?
I would say, this might be controversial, but I would say that you're at the end, like, your responsibility is yourself, but you also have a duty to be a servant to others and help where you can help. Yeah. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, I would help if you say it has no impact on me. I mean, good or bad. I mean, I just have the means to help them. I mean, yeah. As long as what they're doing, as long as me helping them, it's not helping them harm anybody else or themselves.
Good deal.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So we know, like, with those questions, generally there is always going to be an impact. When you choose to act, it could be good, it could be bad on yourself. It could be good or bad for a third party, right? So let's zoom out and let's think on it on a broader scale. So nations, countries, we clearly have countries like the United States, countries like China, Russia, like these big superpower, quote unquote, countries that do have a lot of influence. The things that they do have a lot of influence on the world. Everybody's always watching, of course, regardless if you're on the left, on the right, whatever. You fall on the political spectrum. The decisions that you make when you're in leadership will have rippling effects. But on a broader scale, you may or may not know, it's big right now. The United States and Israel have kind of jointly decided to take on Iran right now, or Iran. I think that's the correct way to say it, Iran. They've jointly decided to take on Iran. And there's, I think it's Operation Epic Fury is what it's called.
You said Operation Epic Fury?
Epic Fury, I think that's what it is.
Oh, wow.
I think that's what it's called, Operation Epic Fury. I might be saying it wrong, but whatever. But right now, there's a huge scale bombing campaign going on in Iran right now. We've taken out 2 administrations of their entire government, just like killed all of them. I think they're on the 3rd administration now. We've pretty much wiped out their entire Navy. We're taking out all kinds of stuff. And the guys of it all, or at least what is said right now, is to try to wipe out their capabilities of obtaining nuclear missiles and of being able to strike not only allies but other countries because they are a state sponsor of terrorism. Is what the guise of it is. So my question is, regardless of getting into the weeds of what that conflict is really about, or who's right, who's wrong, if somebody was doing whatever, if you, and put yourself as the president, right? Just imagine being the president. If you as the president of this country, knowing that you have all the resources at your fingertips to be able to influence the world, if you see that there is another country amassing some kind of technology or something that you feel could potentially harm other people, would you step forward and proactively go against that country and force them to not engage in whatever activity you think may be harmful?
Ask that one more time.
If you're the president of this country, right, and you see that there's another country, it's basically the same question on a broader scale, right? If you're the president of this country and you see that there's another country doing whatever, and it could be they're giving weapons to the cartel. It could be they're state sponsoring fentanyl. I don't know, and they're shipping fentanyl. It could be that they're making missiles and they're over there, playing with missiles in ways that you think are unsafe, that could impact other people. Do you think it is your responsibility as a superpower, but a foreign superpower, to inject yourself in their affairs, what the other countries are doing? What's the line between saying, I'm going to let them do what they want to do, or America saying, okay, we're going to go over there and we're going to stop you from doing what you want to do?
This is why I have a very, I'm curious to see on Judgment Day, right, how God is going to look at presidents and their decisions. Because on one end, you can go like, well, I had to do this because it was the right thing to do. On the other end, it's like, but who told you it was the right thing to do? You're out here killing people. I think that being the president is a very hard job. And I get what you're saying with the whole, if you see something, it's kind of like to see something, say something approach, or see something, do something. But at the same time, it's like, is this going to impact me and my citizens in the future? Because if I make this decision to interfere with another country and what they have going on, although they may be the smaller country and we have the biggest firepower, I don't know. Maybe I'm not as educated to speak on this, but it feels like you know how 2 rappers go at it. You never have to worry about 2 rappers going at it. You have to worry about the people around them and their fans who get hurt and their family members. It's like being in the mob or anything like that. It's like you're probably going to be okay, but your mama, your sister, brother, auntie, cousin, grandma, and like all of them are targets. I I don't know, bro. It's tough. I probably
Yeah.
My bad.
no. I'm saying I probably would have to buy my business if it has nothing to do with my country. My people not going to get hurt. I probably would have to mind my business.
But on the other side of that,
and just say something.
yeah, I'm kind of stuck on what to do too, because like you brought up a good point about Judgment Day and like how this decision now is going to affect like the ripple effect's going to have like years later. That's where I'm like, oh, because you can't just think about, okay, right now this is how I'm feeling. Yeah, it might work right now, but what's the repercussions of that? And that's where I'm like stuck on. I don't know what to do, because it's like you could not say anything. It could get worse or it could get better, but then it's like, what's the effect of like, how's that going to affect everybody else? But you could do something and it's like, okay, it could also get worse or better, but how is that also going to, it's just, there's a lot of like weighing of the pros and cons of the situation. Like, I'm not saying I agree with anything, but it's like, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation. Like, I truly would not know what to do. That's one of those like,
Yeah. Well, it's really more of a thought-provoking question, and it's really just to set the stage of these 2 episodes that we're about to go through.
dun, dun,
So
dun.
think about that, like that dilemma of like, what do I do in situations? Okay. Because what'd you say? Oh, okay. Yeah, good deal. Good deal. All right. Are we ready? All right, we're going to get into episode 7. I know you're all not keeping a notebook. You're supposed to be keeping a notebook in order to remember everything that's going on. But we're going to jump straight into the episode. Arbiter's Game, Season 1, Episode 7. So close your eyes. We're going to hop back into the scenario because all the decisions you've made up until this point matter. Okay? Good? Close your eyes. You already know how this game works. Close your eyes, Anissa. Tonight, your past has caught up with you, and she's coming. You wake up in a dark, swaying train car. Chains bite into your wrist. Smoke and metallic smells fill the air. You're disoriented, wondering, how did I get here? Then randomly the speakers in the train car start to crackle and a familiar voice sparks through. It's the Arbiter. Familiar but cold. She speaks. Every choice you've made, every life you've touched, led you here. And now, you'll pay. You look around the cabin of the train car and you see 2 frosted glass doors slide open at the end, at either end. A silver coin rolls from under one of the doors, and you look at it, and it's that same childhood symbol that you've continued to see over and over. The symbol that you first saw in episode 1 when the car crashed. The speakers flare loud again, and the Arbiter says, one person behind these doors represents someone you saved. One person behind the other door represents the life you let die. Only one can step forward. And then you remember, episode 1, you let Aiden die. Episode 2, you saved the nurse. Episode 4, you saved a woman and you left a man. Episode 5, you saved a father, but you left a teen girl. Episode 6, you freed the denier. As you start to think about all of your decisions throughout this season, you look on either end of the car and you see these 2 frosted doors and you see figures behind the doors. And the Arbiter says, which door do you want to open? You can open door A and face the one tied to your failure, or open door B and face the one you protected. What would you do?
Get on mute. Yo go to pick now.
My go to pick now? That's fine. Repeat that. I couldn't hear you. Tay was talking.
Wow.
Face the one tied to your failure or face the one you protected?
Face the one tied to my failure.
Tight.
No.
Do you all agree?
I agree.
You, okay.
She gonna get us killed.
Stop pointing at me. Like, get your finger out.
She's gonna get us killed, bro.
It's like that. You lift your finger up shakily and you point towards door A, and reluctantly, and the arbiter says, "Tied to your failure." Huh? All of a sudden, the train car jolts to a halting stop. You are kind of swung back and forth across the cabin, and then the doors shudder open violently. Your chains rattle, and you hear the arbiter say, "You've arrived." Light starts to flood the cabin, and you kind of look around because, you're in this dark area and you're trying to adjust to it. And the arbiter says, "Step forward and see the cost of your choices." You step through and walk until your chains don't allow you to walk any further, and the world snaps awake. You're in the ruins of Sycamore Street, Building 13. Smoke curls unnaturally from scorched rubble as you rub your eyes, and episode 7 ends. All right. Are we ready for the finale? Jada, can I get a... I need this. 1 second, guys and gals. I'm going to grab this.
His thing froze.
Why dang wait, we gotta go snap. Yeah. You know how we do, we gon' go ahead route.
No.
We rapping on the beat every time, straight up out of Memphis, Tennessee. You know we on our grind, yeah. Hey, we don't own the rights to this beat, by the way.
This would be a good time to change the battery in the camera.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's not even on right now.
Sure. In a minute. Y'all gonna get these bars. Cause by the time he come back, we gonna be ready. So just bob your head and just relax, hey. You know how we do, we straight up out the bay. Going off the dome, you know how we do, we right on chrome. Actually, we in a Toyota and we straight from new homes. What's up, Andrew? Going up the stairs with a snack. Hold up, what is that? Go ahead and bring it back. You know what we do, and we never falling. Every time we get to a beat, you know just how we do. We balling, no stalling. We just be calling y'all up on the phone. We moving, grooving. Hey.
Technical difficulties, I'm back.
No, that was funny as hell. He saw Andrew. He started rapping like, "Andrew with the snack. Go ahead and bring it back." Andrew turned around like, "This is my."
Let's get it, Drew. My bad, guys. Are we still rolling?
Yep.
I told him he should have changed the camera back.
No, I'm gonna let him finish because it's on 21%, and by the time he get done, 21% is gonna keep going. So talk to the hand because your face don't understand.
So my laptop died. That's exactly what I thought. Okay, so we all caught the end of episode 7, right? Okay, we walk out and we're at Sycamore Street, Building 13. All right. Season 8, The Memory. Episode 8, The Memory. Season finale. Every coin, every life, every choice led you here, and she wants you to pay. You stand among the ruins of Sycamore Street, Building 13. Smoke drifts along the blackened walls, ash hangs thick in the air, and your chest tightens as you notice all of the people that you saved earlier this season. Tied up, terrified, and struggling against chains similar to yours. You see the nurse, the woman from the drawbridge, the father, even the denier. Each clutches one of the silver coins that you continue to see. The same symbol you've seen since the car accident and the drownings. Now these people are panicked, their struggles echo through the ruined streets, and they seem to be a deafening reminder that every decision you've made has had consequences. From the shadow, the arbiter steps forward. But this time the mask is different. It's cut in half, and you can see half of the mask that you're familiar with, but the other half is a woman's face. Her eyes are sharp, merciless, as she walks slowly and deliberately towards you. The arbiter says, "Do you remember me now? This is why I've been testing you. This is why you couldn't save him. She pauses and takes off the other half of her mask, and you see that it's just this burned, ruined mess. Years ago, she starts, there were 3 children. You, Aiden, and me. That day, the fire, the explosion, you left him behind, and I was left to watch him die. I never forgot. Every choice you've made, every life that you've had to save, it only reminded me of what you couldn't do. And now it's your turn to feel it. Her eyes scanned the prisoners on the ground, and the burned half of her face turns into this cruel, skin-crawling smile as she pulls a lighter from her coat. She flicks the flame on, flicks it off, flicks it on, and kind of hovers it around the people's feet. You hear the nurse scream, the woman cry out, the father begin to sob and whimper, and something in your chest just, tugs. These are people that you know, that you're familiar with. My name is Mira, she says. And as you may begin to recall, you decided once before who lived and who died. Now you get to watch the consequences. You struggle against the chain still tied to that train car, with your heart hammering in your chest, but you can't escape from it. Mira circles you. She's calm. She's savoring every second of this. And she begins to circle around the people you once saved. She says, you thought saving them mattered? You chose wrong. Every hesitation, every wrong choice brought you here. She steps close, tilting her head. This is what it feels like to watch those you tried to save burn. Helpless. Just like Aiden. You had a chance back then and you failed. She drops the lighter and you notice that it falls into what seems to be a pool of water. That is no water. The pool ignites and it blows into these big flames that automatically circle the group of those struggling people, and it starts to slowly creep up and around them. The flames slowly get closer and closer and closer to them. Then Mira throws a key at your feet. You bend over and you pick the key up and you look at it, and she smiles. Maybe you can save them. Or will you run like you did in the past? So you have 2 decisions, guys, to end the season. You can attempt to unlock yourself and fight Mira to protect these people. Hopefully you can free them. Or you can unlock yourself and you can run into the ruins and leave these people to die.
You want to know my answer?
Yep.
Whoop that trick.
Get him.
That's what we're choosing to do.
Whoop that trick.
So we're whooping that trick. That's what we're doing.
Beating her. You got it ready? Beat her ass. Oh, dang.
All right. Good. So you got to lock it in. Y'all got to, fist bump or something. Lock that choice in. There you go. All right. So you bend over, you pick up the key, and Mira is laughing, and that laugh turns into something sinister as you unlock your chains, and she starts screaming, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do?" And you ball up your right fist, you ball up your left fist, and then you just go at it. I mean, you charge at her with all your might, and you swing once, she ducks and dodges it. You swing twice, she ducks and dodges it, pushes you down to the ground. And as you get yourself up off the ground, you start to hear people screaming in that circle as the fire gets closer to you. You, in a last-ditch effort to make something work, tackle Mira into the flames, and you fall in the middle of the circle. And at this point, she's hysterical. It's like she's enjoying the fight. Like, this is something that she's always wanted. You are trying, you're on top of her now. You've tackled her into the fire, and you wrap your arms around her neck and you start to choke her. And then randomly you feel this oddly cold feeling in your side. You don't know what it is. And till you look to your left and you see that you've been stabbed in your side. And as realization sets in, you're not afraid, right? You've been through all of this stuff all season long, and you see the blood start to trickle down, and then you suddenly find yourself getting weak. But what hasn't gotten weak is your resolve. You continue to choke, and Tamir stops moving. But what's left is this permanent crooked smile staring at you, lifeless. You work yourself to your feet, and you pull the knife out of your side, and with it, just a gush and a rush of like dark blood starts to flow. People are screaming and they're yelling at you to help them in this circle. And what you do is you grab this key that you've been holding on to the whole time and you toss it at the nurse's feet. The nurse scrambles and unlocks her chains, and then she unlocks the next person, who unlocks the next person, who unlocks the next person, and they all get up and they run, leaving you in the center of the fire. You raise your arms up and you forcefully ask for help. The nurse turns around and looks at you and says, like you helped her. And then the rest of the group runs into the ruins, leaving you. The last thing you feel is warmth as the fire takes over your body and you close your eyes to the end of your life. Yeah.
I told you we should have killed everybody a long time ago, but you don't listen to me.
I guarantee that is not what you said.
I told you we should have killed everybody like episode 2.
He did not say that.
I literally
roll the tapes.
Say I don't trust nobody.
Roll the tapes.
I feel like the little girl gonna get us killed from the other episodes, and I said that. I said that girl gonna get us killed. You said what? I said never mind, because I didn't think you was paying attention. I told you.
Roll the tapes. I want to see me saying that.
The last episode, you will see me say, I got a feeling them kids gonna get us killed, and then you said what? And I said, don't worry about it.
What?
So guys, that was the Arbiter's Game Season 1. Hopefully you all have enjoyed the ride. 8 episodes of decisions and fun. I will say, if you go back and you listen to all the episodes, I really tried to work to make sure that all the decisions you made actually tied in. It's one of those things where, like, if you listen to it over and over again, you'll start to realize that the stuff is connected. So hopefully you've enjoyed this season. You know, we are going to do it again in a different way, in a better way, in a different scenario. Hopefully, you know, this thing improves, you know, as we go along and doing it. But if you have any ideas, any scenario thoughts or questions, hit us up, let us know, because I would love to play with it, manipulate it, and put you into the game. So let us know what decisions you made. Let us know if you were expecting that ending. Let us know what you thought about Mira. Let us know if you deserve to die in the end. I mean, all of the things, you know, that you decided to do led up to it. I will let you know that if you decided to run into the ruins, if you would have chosen that instead of fighting Mira, you would have lived, but you would have waken up like a year later. It would have been like, you know, years past, how they do it in the movies. And then you wake up to somebody knocking on your door, right? And you run out and you see Mira again. And then she's like, we're not done yet. And then this whole thing just, it's kind of like the game doesn't end, you know, if you would have ran away. So her whole thing is, if you listen to that story, you were involved in some childhood accident. There was an explosion. You don't remember it. Maybe it's tied to that explosion. It's not really clear why you don't remember this, but it's quite clear that she does, and that she was scarred by it. And out of these 3 people, you know, you made a decision, and that decision impacted her life, and it clearly led to the death of someone else. So, yeah, let us know what you think. That's all I got.
All right. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Arbiter's Game. I hope you guys enjoyed it with D. Norvell, the D. Norvell. You already know what's going on. Yes, sir. Ding. All right, so now we back with another segment of A from the A. We got A from the A today, and she sent between you and me. Technically,
That's a good one because it's like with Ebony. Now it's technically.
Technically, I'm out of state, but A still A. THC is A from the A. A from the A. A from the A. The music just keeps going in my mind. You know, I can hear
the reading rainbow. That's good.
Okay, all right. What we talking about today, A?
That was the vibe that I was getting from that. I'm sorry, the tune just reminded me of that. But hello, everybody. If you don't know, this is my favorite segment of the podcast. I'm just kidding. I love everybody's equally. But this is my specific segment. Everything from all angles of A from the A, Arkansas to be specific. Don't get it twisted.
And we did it, yeah.
Calm down.
That sounds good. No, Whitney Houston, Ruben Studdard.
Okay. Huh?
Carry on.
Yeah, I'm about to carry on. So I wanted to talk about something. This is like an ongoing conversation, and it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier with Tay's segment. Just something that society told us that is a myth, basically. And that is in regards to age. Long story short, there's no expiration date on your dreams. So my opening question is going to be, do you think any industry, especially like the creative space, and even in your industry too, Dane, do you think that they put an age limit on success? Like if you're not discovered young, people think it's too late. If you're not starting it by this age, you think it's too late. Do you think people put an age limit on when you can start to be successful, and why is that?
You said Dane?
Both, everybody. This is a question for
you. Said, do we? You said what are our thoughts on people putting an age limit on it?
Yeah, I probably did not word that the best, so forgive me. I'm just going to make it specific to the fashion industry, but you can insert your own industry there. Do you think the fashion industry puts an age limit on success? Like if you're not discovered young, people think it's too late. And why do you think they do that?
I mean, I think they do it with everything. I think that some people do it off their what they've been told. Same with rapping, same with any kind of art, they only, like I talked about this before on Juice 901. They only put the age limit on art forms. They don't put it on nothing else. They don't say, well, you're too old to be a doctor. You're too old to be a...
I've heard that.
How often do you have, which one have you heard the most? Music or art? Or like real corporate jobs?
All right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's typically mostly based on anything art related. You don't hear, well, you're too old to be a lawyer. I'm not saying you haven't heard these things before, but it's a smaller. If you go at the age of 45 years old, I think I'm going to go to law school. You're going to get, hey, bro, that's what's up, bro. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. But if you go at 45 years old and be like, you know what, I'm going to fulfill my dream of doing gymnastics or being a model, or it's specifically for music. I think that people in the space may say, well, people in that who's in the modeling space already may be like, well, she's a little bit too old to be doing it.
Yeah.
People on the outside, like on Facebook, might be like, oh, that's dope. That's real dope. It's really just music. If you pursue your music, and it's really mostly rap. If you decide you want to sing at any age, I think people look at it a little slightly different, because things like the blues and all that and old exist for a reason. People are older in those fields, but rapping is a young man's sport compared to a lot of people. I mean, when people, based on what a lot of people got to say,
right?
But
Right? That's the question.
Do you think that any industry puts an age limit on success? You can insert the industry there, and why do they do that?
Yes, I think several industries do. Tay was a really good example you used about like gymnastics or ballet. Like I absolutely think that lots of industries do, especially if you're being competitive in that industry. If it's like a competitive sport or something. And it's because that in order to win, they're going to go based off of statistics, and statistics or biology, whatever. I'm not a doctors, any of that stuff, but they're looking at how quickly can I mold this person into their peak? You know what I mean? And peak in certain industries looks like a certain thing. It looks like a certain height, or it looks like a certain weight class, or it looks like being able to do X, Y, and Z for a prolonged period of time. And if you don't hit it within a certain window, then you're just not going to be as effective, as what maybe they want you to be in that competitive atmosphere. So, yeah, I think people do put an age limit on success. I think it just depends. And I will also say, like Tay said, when you get into a professional, when you get into more of a corporate world, I think you don't run into that as often. Now, you will have, because I'll even say from like the law school perspective, you do have people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. They go to law school late in life because they have a passion of something they've always wanted to try and they've never done it. And I will say, when you get into some careers like being a doctor or being a lawyer, it can, I will say your success can depend on your age. And it may be controversial. I say that, though, because of the amount of schooling that you have to go through, and then followed by the amount of years it typically takes to become excellent in that field. Because you have doctors that go to school for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 years to become a specialist in something. And if you wait too late, you just may not have you may not have it in you at X, Y, and Z age to make it, to be as successful as you would have been if you started a decade earlier. So yeah, I know that was a long answer, but I think it just depends on the industry, and I think it also depends on what your personal goals are with engaging in it. So
bro, I think it just depends on if you actually make it happen, because I think people are going to have those opinions, but the slogan, the quote that goes, "It's only impossible until you do it, until somebody does it."
Yep.
It's like if when you do it, I think people can't fathom. It's like, bro, you 50 years old. What do you mean you want to be a bodybuilder? Like, you 50 years old. What do you mean you want to go into acting? And I brought up acting for that reason. We can bring out a list of actors who didn't make it until their late 40s or 50 years old, and these are considered greats. These are considered great actors. Like
legendary people. Legendary,
and who's doing 10 times better than the people who are younger than them. So it's like it only looks crazy until you make it happen, and until you get your own success out of it. And if you can walk around and say, I'm successful, I did this, and I feel good about myself, it's something about a confident person that makes you very likable. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's when the success starts to get really tricky and people start to look at you differently. It's like, well, dang, I didn't see it at first, but I kind of like Martha for doing that. I kind of like Deborah for doing that. I kind of like Erica for like, it's just, you look at it different. Like, Bill actually made it happen. He did coach a football team at this age. So it's just like, that's why it's so important to block out everybody's opinion, bro. If you love it, do it, pursue it, and be good at it, and define your own success. And with that being said, who cares what people think? Do you?
Right. And I agree. And I'm so glad you brought up the example of the actors and stuff, because that's exactly what I was about to get into, and something that I had in my notes I was going to bring up. Because a lot of greats in the fashion industry as well, didn't get started until later in their careers. Like, or they didn't even start in fashion at first. Virgil Abloh, architect. And I think, sorry, let me go through. Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until 40. Like, I feel like stories like that, not even just with like models, but with actors and with lawyers and people that are wanting to make that shift in their career, it's never too late. It's only too late, like you said, if you say it's too late to yourself, because people are always going to have opinions no matter what you do. You're going to get the claps, you're going to get the boos, you're going to get the, I don't know why the fuck you're doing that.
Oprah Winfrey.
In my notes too. Did you read my notes before I came in?
I think so.
Because like literally I had that example. Because what? And it's just like, what'd you say?
Said Morgan Freeman.
I was just about to say
exactly.
That.
Like, and I bring that up also because I was on Threads the other day. I never usually get on Threads, so I was like, let me just. I've been on top of it lately. And somebody was saying, I really want to try out modeling. I really want to explore like what that would look like for me. But on this age, like, can somebody that is an older person in their 20s or 30s that's just now getting to modeling, like, tell me their experience? And I was just reading through the comments because sometimes you just need that boost. I'm a sidebar for a second. I'm gonna get back to that because I'm 27 right now, and there are a lot of successful models at my age, but they started way younger than what I did. Whenever I really started to take it seriously, and it turned it into a job and career for myself. Lost my train of thought. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm very late, but it's like goes back to that mindset thing. It's what you tell yourself. But going back to the threads, it's like seeing those people's comments. Like there was a woman that said, "Oh, I'm 33. I just got signed to an agency." Or there's a lot more space for people that are attempting these things and going for these goals, reaching for these dreams that are, I'm gonna call it unorthodox with air quotes, because they tell you, oh, you need to start at this age to be successful here, or a model's career is over by 20, and like all these things and people's opinions, but it's being proven time and time again that that's false, with the examples of like in any industry, like Oprah Winfrey, who'd you say? You said Morgan Freeman, and Virgil Abloh, Vera Wang, like all these people. It's just,
You ever heard the saying, this is gonna make for a good story when somebody about to make a decision, like when somebody about to make a decision, like with their friends or something like that, but like, hey bro, it's about to make for a good story in the future. It's just like, that's how I'm pretty sure everybody looked at the Oprahs, who, especially she grew up at a time where she the one that had all those racist people who didn't want her to have the TV show and all that back in the day. I think she had them on the show or whatnot. But it's like, especially the times they grew up in, that was a generation that said go to college. You have to go to college and all that. And a lot of them went to college, but at the same time, a lot of them pivoted at the same time. So it's like, if I don't make it doing it, okay. But if I do, this is going to make for a great story. And that's why we use examples like Oprah, Morgan Freeman, and the list goes on. The person you just said,
Virgil Abloh, Vera Wang.
Yeah, and it's like we said, Virgil's the one with the Off-White, right? Or somebody else? Yeah,
Off-White, first artistic director at Louis Vuitton.
Passed away a couple years ago. Yeah, and look how people. It's just like it don't. A lot of people opinion. If you make it, just know you will be used as an example of. That's why you should never give up on your dreams. And to me, I think that's a great story to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you're leaving a legacy of yourself. Like, I know
2 Chainz.
For rapper Go to the League.
No, 2 Chainz didn't pop until 33.
Right.
He was in his 30s.
Yeah, he was with Luda and them at first, but he didn't pop until 33 years old.
Yeah. That just shows.
Jesus year.
You said what?
Jesus year.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I was like, huh? Let me see. So why do you think, like, with all that being said, like, some people don't hit their successful year that will set them up for life until later in life, but why do you think people give up too early whenever their first plan doesn't work out?
Because they don't realize the work that come behind any kind of they develop that thing we talked about with the whole myth thing about just because you work hard, you can get whatever you want. Hard work beat talent when talent doesn't work. That's true to a certain extent. Sometimes talent does get you in, but sometimes hard work gets you in. Sometimes it works out, but reality is your timing is your timing. And even though that person popped at 25 doesn't mean you're not going to pop at 30 years old. I could bring up the 2 Chainz compared to Glorilla example. Glorilla had only been rapping for a couple of years. I think about 2 years before that. But no. It hadn't been long. I'll say that much. And some people pop on TikTok the first year they start rapping. So it's like, it's just your time is your time. Just like we all got a time to leave this earth. Imagine being jealous of somebody else left it first. Like and they got to heaven before you. They got to heaven before you. They got to live a good life in heaven. It's like, bro, no, my time is my time. That's your time. I ain't trying to. Well, I get there when I get there, and I get to success when I get to success. And I think success is also when not giving up. So,
what do you think about that, Daniel?
I agree. Yeah, I 1,000% agree.
That's it?
I would
I'm
literally
just
be
kidding.
repeating the exact same thing he said. I'm sorry, I agree.
I'm just messing with you. I just wanted to be funny. For me and my perspective, especially in the modeling space, like I feel like, of course, comparison is a thief of joy, and I try not to compare my journey to others because other people might have certain resources or be put in. Are you making that face?
I like the comparison's a thief of joy. That's what I say all the time. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is what he says all the time. But I don't want to say that you're right, but you're right. Okay, dang. But I definitely feel like social media plays a big part in that. Like we talk about that a lot in therapy. Like I have to take breaks. I have to stop scrolling. I have to try to look at something else purposefully, because if I look at, let's say somebody is doing a story time, how they got discovered in a mall at 12 and, you know, just all these things that set them up to be like an iconic model or an iconic person in the fashion industry. I'm gonna be like, dang, like I was literally worried about horses in middle school, and this person was out here like living their dream and setting themselves up for a great career and lifestyle that I wanted but I didn't pursue until later in life. It's like I try to be more intentional with not putting myself in those situations where I know I'm going to end up comparing myself, because like you said, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's time for something is different.
And sometimes you're not even mentally ready to be in that position that you thought you wanted at a young age. You were pursuing so many other things, and you didn't have the discipline or the mind. I'm not saying you, like me personally.
No, I get what you mean.
But like you didn't have the discipline or anything, so that sometimes you just weren't ready. You know, I remember I tried to be on the University of Memphis football team. Without any physical training, without any, I'm talking about no cardio or anything, and no conditioning or nothing. I just showed up. And I said, that's the last time I'll go to something underprepared. And everybody who knows me knows I had the biggest dream when playing football. But I also had to be real with myself. These people who played football or who made the team were prepared. Yeah. People might look at us like, how did they get opportunities to interview certain celebrities and all that? It's like, well, sometimes it's God. Most times it's God. Other times you got to be honest with, are you working as hard as Juice 901? Are you showing up? So it's just like, are you showing up on the rainy days and when you don't feel like it? The days where you left therapy, you rather be at home chilling. The days where Dane has to prepare for a case and you don't feel like it. The days where Tay is extremely tired and that bed was feeling extremely good. And I didn't go to bed till 2:00 in the morning, but still got up. And you know, are you willing to do and sacrifice? And this may not work out, all of this. But all three of us just got faith that it will.
Yeah. And I think
that's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to enjoy the journey of whatever you're doing too. Right. You do it because you enjoy it. You work hard for it. You work hard so it works out. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, at least you enjoyed the process. That's why it's so
right. And me personally, like, I feel like not even just with like the podcast or modeling, just everything in general, if there's something that I want so bad, I would feel better giving my all to it and it not working out than like self-sabotaging and putting myself in a situation where I know it's not going to work. Or I know like, oh, well, that seems so far-fetched. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, because I think about that with paid modeling gigs. Because for the longest, I did not get paid to model at all. Like, I was just strictly doing collaborative shoots, trade for print shoots, that's basically where like you go work with a photographer, for those that don't know, or whatever. You're just there as like a model for a concept. You don't get paid. You don't get any type of anything except for the final product. Or where I'm literally paying people to execute a concept that I have for myself. Like if I did not put that time in where I wasn't getting paid, or I wasn't like learning the craft and learning from all these different people in the industry, which shout out to y'all, you know exactly what I'm talking about, I would not be where I am now, setting myself up to where I am getting more paid gigs, where people are asking me to come work with them. Like, I would have felt terrible if I just gave up, like, okay, I'm not seeing money right away. But you also have to be very realistic with your goals. And I think you spoke about that a little bit earlier, if not in like a personal conversation between the three of us, or if it was on the podcast. But that's like a reoccurring theme. Like, you have to be realistic with where you're at and then make a plan from there and keep pushing forward. But I honestly would feel like crap if I did not put my all into something and it didn't work out, rather than me like trying and it not working out. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. And I want to close out for what I want to say. I ain't going to close out the whole segment, of course. But it's kind of what Dane said. I think people skip over the fact that the minute you start appreciating where you are and appreciate the journey, it opens up more opportunities for you. Because that way, when you're appreciating where you are, you're not rushing anything. And when you're not rushing anything, it gives you more time to think strategically and act, and go, towards the path that you wouldn't have saw had you had been like, this gotta happen. No.
Yeah, jumping at everything too quickly.
Yeah, so it's just like when you learn to appreciate. I had a conversation with my siblings the other day about, not to get dark, but mortality, right? Your mortality, like dying or whatnot, your death date and all that stuff. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I think when we lose family members, we get so hung up on like, oh, I should have did this. But when we start to appreciate, like, I could think about one day all three of us won't be here. Or I could be like, yo, I get to record a podcast in this very second with my friends, and I get to stay in this moment and live in every single second. So when that day does come, it makes it easier, and you feel more appreciated because you have more memories to go by, opposed to you so worried about. It's how anxiety works. You worry about the future so much that you forget to live in the present, and now you have nothing to reflect on.
Oh,
so
a word.
Vanessa, anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. That wraps up another segment of Everything from All Angles with A from the A. Arkansas to be specific, don't get it twisted. And if you didn't learn anything from this segment, I hope you can take away that it's never too late. Put the work in. Pray about it. If it's for you, it's for you. If just because it doesn't happen right now doesn't mean it won't happen in the future.
All right.
Let's get it. And go ahead, my bad.
So I'm about to wrap up. You got anything else?
No, you good. No, I was about to do the same thing.
Well, I took it from you. Well, guys, another episode of Juice 901 podcast. Thank you as always for rocking with us, for sticking with us. Tay, where can they find us?
They can find us at all social media platforms at Juice 901. At Juice 901 on all platforms. Actually, Juice 901 podcast on TikTok. And if you want to email us, you gotta say it like Dave. What's the email, Anissa?
Juice 901 talk. You gotta.
901 talk. Talk at gmail.com. Juice 901 talk at gmail.com. You can reach out to us. We'd love to have you sit either virtually or on a couch right next to my lovely co-host. So please reach out. And also sponsorship inquiries. We want to advertise you. Got milk? We do. All right.
And before we close out, make sure y'all get y'all tickets for BRNCHLLA.
BRNCHLLA, May 9th.
May 9th.
Because we will be there, guys. We will be there. Come hang out with us. Get to know the people.
Get to know the people. Get to know the juice.
First of the festival season.
Absolutely. We will be there May 9th, Memphis, Tennessee, BRNCHLLA Memphis. Be there or be square. It's going to be great. Great food, great vibes, great people, great content, and
beautiful weather.
Get interviewed. We're there for you. So, be a great time.
It's your opportunity.
Juice 901. Get your tickets for BRNCHLLA. Let's get it. Who got the juice?
We got the juice.
Juice 901. Let's get it.